Picture this. The first rays of sunlight break over the horizon, painting the fields in gold. The world is quiet, except for the distant call of a rooster and the crunch of boots on frosty grass. A farmer in Wisconsin is already on their feet, the air cold and crisp, their breath hanging in the morning stillness. Before most people have even stirred, their day has begun. This isn't a desk job. Cows need milking, fields need tending, and every task is urgent. The work is physical, relentless, and deeply connected to the land. For generations, this has been the rhythm of life for American farmers. Grandparents, parents, and children all working side by side, passing down knowledge and tradition. They are the bedrock of our food supply, turning dirt and water into the cereal in your bowl, the bread on your table, and the milk in your glass. Their hands shape the very foundation of our daily lives. But lately, that rhythm has been disrupted by disastrous government policies. New rules and shifting priorities have left many farmers feeling lost and unsupported. Farmers face a perfect storm of political decisions making their lives impossible. Subsidies are cut, tariffs shift, and the cost of doing business keeps rising. The daily grind now includes navigating new regulations, deciphering complex paperwork, and absorbing financial blows that threaten their very survival. The people we rely on to feed us are being pushed to the brink. Exhaustion and uncertainty have become constant companions, and hope is fading with each passing season. It's a slow-motion catastrophe unfolding in the heartland. If we don't pay attention, we risk losing not just farms, but a way of life. It's time we talk about what's really happening to America's farmers. Farming is hard, physical work. It's a job that demands long hours under the sun, often in tough conditions, and requires a level of endurance and skill that many people underestimate. From planting seeds in the spring to harvesting crops in the fall, every step is labor-intensive and crucial to putting food on our tables. For generations, American farms have relied on the dedication and resilience of immigrant labor. These workers are the backbone of our agricultural system, performing the essential tasks that keep farms running and grocery shelves stocked. Today, an estimated 61% of all farm workers in the U.S. are immigrants. Many of them have spent years, even decades, working the land, building lives and communities in rural America. But recent immigration enforcement has sent a shockwave of fear through these communities. Workers who once felt secure now worry about being separated from their families or losing their livelihoods overnight. In Wisconsin, farm leaders say these policies have scared away essential workers, leaving fields empty and equipment idle during the busiest times of the year. On October 3, 2025, the Supreme Court allowed a policy to stand that strips deportation protections from Venezuelan migrants. This decision has only deepened the uncertainty for thousands of workers who are vital to our food supply. For farmers, this means crops are left to rot in the fields. Without enough hands to pick and process the harvest, perfectly good food is wasted, and farm incomes plummet. A cherry farmer in Oregon watched 30 acres of fruit wither because he couldn't find workers. That's not just a personal loss, it's a blow to the local economy and to everyone who depends on affordable, fresh produce. This story repeats across the country, with different crops, but the same outcome. Apples in Washington, tomatoes in California, dairy in the Midwest. No region is immune to the consequences. The administration has created a massive labor shortage that harms the very farmers they claim to support. Instead of strengthening rural America, these policies are pushing family farms to the brink. It's like trying to build a house while deporting all the carpenters. The work simply can't get done, no matter how much you want it to. The policy is not just cruel, it's economically self-destructive. By undermining the workforce that sustains our farms, we're jeopardizing our food security, our rural communities, and the future of American agriculture. If a crippling labor shortage wasn't enough, American farmers soon found themselves facing a new and unexpected threat, one that would hit them right where it hurt most, their wallets and their livelihoods. Tariffs added another layer of pain, compounding the challenges already weighing down rural communities. Suddenly, the global flow of goods slowed, and uncertainty crept into every conversation about the future. The idea behind these tariffs was to protect American industries from foreign competition, but for farmers, the reality was far from protective. Instead, it felt like a disaster unfolding in slow motion, with every new policy announcement bringing more anxiety. When the US slapped tariffs on goods from countries like China, those countries didn't just sit back, they retaliated with tariffs of their own, targeting American exports. Their primary target was American agriculture, a sector that had long depended on international buyers to keep farms afloat and rural economies thriving. Soybeans were America's largest agricultural export, and China was by far the biggest customer, buying more than half of all US soybean exports each year. For many farmers, this relationship was the backbone of their business. Then came the tariffs, and China responded by slapping its own taxes on US soybeans, making them far less competitive in the global market. Suddenly, American soybeans were wildly expensive, and Chinese buyers, who once relied on US farmers, began looking elsewhere, turning to countries like Brazil and Argentina for their supply. Caleb Ragland, a farmer from Kentucky, said it best: "We need to not punch our customers in the face with tariffs." His words echoed the frustration felt by thousands of farmers across the country, who saw years of hard work and relationship building evaporate almost overnight. Farmers lost their biggest markets, watching as their crops piled up in silos with nowhere to go. The sense of loss was more than financial. It was personal, a blow to their sense of purpose and pride. At the same time, the cost of their supplies began to skyrocket. Fertilizer, seeds, and chemicals, many of which are imported, became more expensive almost overnight. The administration's tariffs didn't just hit exports. They made essential inputs more expensive, squeezing farmers from both sides. Farmers were earning less for their crops, as prices dropped due to oversupply and lost demand, while paying more to grow them. The math simply didn't add up, and for many, the future looked bleak. For the first time in decades, the US is projected to become a net importer of agricultural products, meaning we'll buy more food from other countries than we sell abroad. It's a staggering reversal, driven by a trade policy that has alienated our allies, undermined our farmers, and left rural America wondering what comes next. The fallout from this storm of policy is heading straight for your wallet. Labor shortages and trade wars lead to higher food prices for everyone. The USDA forecasts food prices will climb significantly in the coming years. The extra cost of groceries is the direct consequence of chaotic policies. Representative Jim McGovern calculated the tariffs amounted to a significant tax increase per household. This isn't money going to productive programs, it's the cost of economic friction. And it's not just food. Car makers face billions in tariff-related costs. The ripple effects are spreading throughout the economy. The rising cost of groceries is the endpoint of a chain reaction starting with policy decisions. In times of crisis, you'd hope for government support. Yet, the administration has been dismantling programs designed as a safety net. Cuts to USDA programs have led to lost revenue for farmers. The administration has targeted SNAP, reducing purchasing power for low-income families. This hurts families and local farmers where benefits would have been spent. During the ongoing government shutdown, instability erodes trust in the federal government. Farmers like Darren Von Ruden emphasize they want to earn their living from a fair marketplace. The administration's policies have made that nearly impossible. While family farms struggle, corporate-run factory farms thrive. The administration's policies favor large agricultural corporations. Loopholes in USDA programs let the largest producers collect most aid. Deregulation benefits factory farms, allowing them to pollute local air and water. Deregulation in meatpacking plants makes conditions riskier for workers. The biggest corporations benefit from a fearful workforce and lax oversight. Family farms trying to operate sustainably are at a disadvantage. The government is actively helping Goliath load his slingshot against David. To understand the crisis, listen to those living it. These aren't just statistics. They're stories of families facing loss. Caleb Ragland, a soybean farmer, lost his biggest customer due to the trade war. He wants access to markets, not government handouts. Darren van Ruden speaks for farmers who feel abandoned. Government aid feels like a bandage on a self-inflicted wound. The Oregon cherry farmer lost 30 acres of fruit due to a labor shortage. These stories are part of a widespread crisis. From dairy farmers to vegetable growers, the message is the same. The government is devastating the lives of those who feed the nation. This storm isn't just a farming issue. It's an American issue. The struggles of farmers are showing up as higher grocery bills. A nation that can't feed itself affordably is in a precarious spot. The solution requires reversing current policy. We need sensible immigration reform for a stable workforce. End self-destructive trade wars and repair international relationships. Restore safety nets and support programs for small farms. This is a central issue as we head toward the midterm elections. Supporting farmers is about supporting ourselves and our economy. We must choose a path that values those who grow our food.